Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George, or all George. Today, I have a simple message, and that is don't give up on the person you are becoming. And what type of person is that? Someone with financial freedom, someone that isn't chained to a 9-to-5 job, that doesn't have to be berated by coworkers and bosses, someone that has the ability to do whatever they want, whenever they want. And you probably were looking to become that person by investing with Bitcoin and crypto. And I'm here to say you do not want to give up. You do not want to give up on that. You do not want to give up being that person, because you're just going to lose all respect for yourself and you're going to be miserable that you panic sold and you didn't continue the course. So today, I want to talk about becoming that person and attaining financial freedom with Bitcoin and crypto, and why you should not be giving up. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I know there's a lot of panic today. A lot more FUD that's going on. People want to know what the hell is going on with Bitcoin. But here's the thing. You do not want to give up on yourself. You do not want to give up on the person you set to achieve, because it is a mistake. It is a mistake, and I'm here to tell you why. All right, let's get started. Let me change my screen here. So obviously I tweeted out this morning. Those of you guys that follow me on Twitter, you saw this. Okay, so what exactly is going on? Bitcoin is at 32,000 right now, 32,061, and it was a little bit lower, hitting 31,000 earlier today, right? And some of you guys may have lost your way, or you're trying really hard to ignore or resist the temptation of selling, because maybe you weren't convinced all along that Bitcoin or Ethereum or all these other crypto were worth holding on to in the beginning at all. Maybe you FOMO'd in. Maybe you heard other people talk about it and you thought it was a good idea to invest, right? And during these hard times, it's really hard to ignore the temptation to basically give up and panic sell, right? I get it. Right now, you're probably feeling struggles. Maybe you have cried a little bit. It feels painful, especially from peer pressure from your spouse, from your family, from other people that are just talking about how Bitcoin is in a bear market, how it's going to go lower. And every time you look at your portfolio now, you probably have felt some pain, right? I get it. I've been through it. Many other people have as well. But if you put in the work, you have the discipline, the obedience, the conviction and faith that some of us have developed over the years, because we know what we're invested in. We know what Bitcoin is really all about, and we know what Ethereum and all these other crypto are all about, then you will not be persuaded to get off the path. You will not give up on trying to become that person you want to be, which is a financially free person, someone that has financial freedom, right? So do not give in. Do not give in. We will pass. We will pass this. Now, this morning, we have a lot more FUD. I've been talking about FUD, and every single day, the media gives more FUD, because this is what drives people. This is how you emotionally wreck people, by showing them the absolutely worst thing that can happen. You're fearing them to death, basically, and it works because people click and view and start believing. This is why you need to have that obedience. You need to keep in mind that you control your future, not what anyone else says or does. They do not control your future. You do. You do. Right? So this morning, you have headlines like this: Bitcoin's terrible run. Not only is that a horrible headline, but it isn't over yet. Okay? So, of course, these kind of headlines do not help. Here we go. Another one. Bitcoin extends losses, falling below $32,000. Okay. And talks about U.S. seizes most of the colonial ransom again, making Bitcoin look like it's only used for ransomware, but not for anything else. And then, of course, you do have traditional headlines from Cointelegraph saying that, hey, 19,000 is really the support. So we have a lot more to fall from 32,000. And here's another one, how, Bitcoin will fall to 25,000, right? So there's a lot out there. It's a lot to take in. It really is, especially if you haven't been in the game for quite some, or let's say, for quite some time, or if you're in the game for only a few months. This is really, really hard to bear. I know that. But don't give up on the person that you're becoming, which is someone that is starting to invest the right way. Invest in the future. Invest in an ecosystem that is meant to replace what exists now. And that is centralized finance and the corruption of it and just everything tallied together. That is what crypto and Bitcoin is trying to change. So don't get swayed off the path. So let me show you. When in doubt, I know right now, when in doubt, when Bitcoin is falling, people will again just say that this is the absolute worst thing that has ever happened to Bitcoin, and we haven't seen these levels forever. But guess what? We have. If you zoom out a little bit, we have seen levels this low before. Not years ago. Yes, just a month ago, we have seen 30,000. We have seen 31,000. So today's drop, although seems like it's the end of Bitcoin, no, we're still within that range, right? We haven't formed a new low yet. We haven't seen something that we haven't ever witnessed before. No, that didn't happen, right? And I know that some of you guys just feel like this is the end for Bitcoin, right? That 64,000 is the end, and it's just not going to come up again. And we're in a bear market, and we're going to be in a bear market for the next 3 years, right? But then when you calm down, when you actually do the homework and you actually pay attention to what has happened before, you'll realize that, hey, if you zoom out, then you realize that this is not so bad. This is actually pretty normal. We have seen big dips like this before, where Bitcoin has shrugged off and continued on its way. It might take a while, but we have seen this before, and even during bull runs. You zoom in here, you see plenty of 30, 40% dips during a bull run. Not during crypto winter. We have seen it before. And you have bigger indicators like stock to flow, or patterns, I should say, that is still saying we are on track. Logarithmic growth curve, we're still on track. So when you feel down, you feel like you're losing your way, you have this temptation to really just sell because it seems like Bitcoin has lost its ways and that it's just going to fall to some unknown level or zero, let's say, what the naysayer would say, like Peter Schiff and guys and Norel or whoever, like they would like to say, hey, Bitcoins will go down to zero, and you're feeling that way. You know what? Step back and realize that this is normal. This is normal. We will get past this. No matter what anyone says, we will get past this. The future is very, very, very bright. And it's really not about what anyone else says. It's really not about what anyone else says. It's really what you believe in. Do you believe in Bitcoin and Ethereum and DeFi and the whole ecosystem? Do you believe in the projects that you're invested in? Step back and look at it. Do you believe DeFi will change centralized finance forever? Do you believe that Bitcoin is a better version of gold and it could be a great hedge against inflation? Do you believe in all these blockchains that are onboarding hundreds of dApps and getting funding into hundreds of millions and billions? Do you believe in that? If you do, then it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It really matters. All that matters is what you believe in, and you got to have that conviction and faith to to get through times like this. Okay, so you have the key. You have the key to your future. You know that private keys, public keys, of course, is very important in crypto. But honestly, look at the person that you're trying to become. You have the key to becoming that person. You control it. So it's really up to you. Do you want to continue the path and unlock the door to financial freedom and to becoming that person you want to be? Or do you want to just give up and really just listen to what everyone else says and leave and lose all that respect for yourself and become miserable afterwards? So you decide. You decide what the person that you want to become, right? So for me, I know there's a lot of fear out there. A lot of people that are trying to say, we're going to go much lower. This is a bear market. It's over. I'm not letting them dictate what I do. I will continue to hodl. I will continue to buy the dips. I will continue to invest in the projects I believe in, because I have seen this before. I have lived through this before. And it was much, much worse in 2018, 2019, 2020, when we were not in a bull market. We were in crypto winter, and those dips lasted forever, seemingly forever. But we got through it. We got through it together. Those people that follow me, they weren't Georges yet at the time, but they are Georges now because they put in the work. They did their homework. And you know what? They developed the obedience, the conviction, the faith into holding and dollar cost averaging what they believe in. And those people are not scared right now. They are made people that have obtained financial freedom and life-changing wealth. So be one of those people. Be one of those people. All right. With that said, that's pretty much it. The only two things I want to talk about that are news related. Number one is, I did see this. The White House tech advisor, Tim Wu, has at least 1 million in Bitcoin. And he's on Biden's, administration. So maybe he'll talk some sense into administration. Maybe he'll talk to Biden himself and Yellen and everyone else that Bitcoin isn't evil. It isn't evil. And there's a lot that we could learn from it, and there's a lot that we could do with it. So hopefully he conveys that message. And lastly, it's not really news, but you know what? I was looking at liquidations today. It is not bad compared to some of the previous liquidations we had before. Like this one was just enormous. But even today, 216 million longs wrecked. You know, here's another 180 million longs wrecked. There's still a lot of liquidations for leverage. Okay, so I know people are still trying to time the market, trying to time top or bottom, and looking at situations and saying, hey, this is a great time to leverage one way or another. And you still have people like the Moon, unfortunately, that within 30 seconds of this video is talking about his bonus on Bybit and having a headline of, I'm shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. So that doesn't help. That doesn't help educate, doesn't help calm people down, doesn't help anything at all. So this is still ongoing and part of the FUD that's out there, and I don't like it, and we should not fall for it. We should not fall for it, and nor should we listen to it. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave the rest of the time for you guys. Ultimately, what I wanted to convey today is, you know what? Don't give up. Don't give up. Especially don't give up on yourself. If nothing else, don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to what anyone says. You control your future. You control your own keys to that path, to that door, to attaining financial freedom. That is probably the reason why you're investing in Bitcoin and crypto. Maybe if that wasn't the case, then maybe this is not for you. But if you did for the right reasons, you got to put in the work. You have to just ignore the FUD, ignore what anyone else says. And yes, there might be tears, struggle, and pain. Yes, there might be a lot of that. Maybe we'll see even more of that after today, right? But develop that conviction, develop that faith, develop that FUD proofing, okay, that you need to get through it. All right, let's do some Q&A. I missed a lot of super chats, so I apologize. I'm gonna try to recover all of them. All right, scrolling up, and again, I spoke a lot, so I missed a lot of the super chats. Eduardo says, no fear, George. Thank you for reinforcing my life-changing wealth. Instead of selling, I'm looking for best places to stake my crypto and continue to gain. There's a lot of places you could stake. You native stake in wallets like Cardano. You could stake in a pool utilizing the Delos wallet. You can put it into something like BlockFi, where they will just give you, it's not called staking, but you could just deposit. They will give you interest based on your crypto. And there's a lot of other players like Aave and Nexo and Celsius like BlockFi, but you have Aave, Compound, you have lending plays like that. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options to choose from. Oz, this is a great opportunity. We all made a lot, lost a lot. Hodl, billionaires are eating up these coins. You're a legend. I appreciate that, and I do agree. I do agree. You know, while retail, like right now, honestly, I can't even blame retail, because if you look at BTC dominance, it really did not shoot up. We were at 41% last night. We barely went up to 41.3%, which means that what's happening right now is not panic retail selling. At least not more so than the Bitcoin selling. It's about the same. So this shows that people have been paying attention. People have basically decided that, hey, this is my way to financial freedom. This is who I want to become. I'm not going to sell. I'm going to continue my ways, dollar cost average and hodl, and that's the right way to do it, right? And remember, wealth is made by buying low, not high. Buying low and selling high. Right? So remember that. That's the most important part to this. Not the most important, but one of the most important. Didn't we have this dip 2 weeks ago? There's no such thing as easy money, only balls and steals. Yes. And I made that point. Although people are claiming that this is like the worst drop we have seen recently. No, we were lower. 30,000, 31,000, we're 32,000. It doesn't mean that for sure we're going to bounce right here. We could go lower. Yes, we could go lower, right? But ultimately, this doesn't change. The FUD is still going to be rampant. The fundamentals still didn't change. And ultimately, you have to decide, which side are you on? Are you on the side, the path to financial freedom, or are you in the side where you go give up and you go regret it for the rest of your life? So you decide which side you want to be on. How do you feel about U.S. recovering 2.3 million ransomware? Yeah, I like it. So yesterday I covered that story. Supposedly these guys tried to send it to exchange. That's how they were able to stop it. But you could track it. You could track everything on the blockchain. I mean, you could send it to 1 million addresses, but eventually, if you want to cash out, they could track it. So I like it, but somehow that's seen as a bad thing. So I don't quite get that. Keep an eye on May inflation CPI on Thursday. The FUD storm began last month, same day. CPI was horrible last month. It was the highest since 2008. And I anticipate it's probably going to be just as bad this month. So, I don't know. Any news on Morpheus Network? Yeah, I've been in contact with them. Supposedly their PR guy had some sickness. He's been away, but I'm going to give more updates on them in the near future as they develop. Ashton says volatility to the downside causes emotional pain. This is a fee for volatility to the upside to create financial freedom. Yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. In fact, I'll say it's very easy to lose your way, to lose your path, right? Because of the short-term volatility. Short-term volatility is always going to be there. There's always going to be whales that's trying to mix up your emotions at all times to cause some real emotional pain or wreckage, right? That's where the struggles, the pain, the tears come in. But you have to develop those diamond hands, and you have to develop a system where you can ignore that and get past it. That's how you go win. What else is there? Did I miss anything else? Okay. Hi, George. I split my portfolio 25, 25, 50. Do you think it's a bad idea? 50% in big cap? Well, you have 25% in ETH, which is a big cap, and then 50% big cap. So you have 25% Bitcoin, 75% big cap. I mean, I think having a little bit more Bitcoin wouldn't hurt. But, I mean, big caps are solid right now. They're solid. And a lot of projects I really love and support, they're all big caps. So I think it's a good breakup, although a little more Bitcoin will probably help. The mood point. George, you're being so philosophical today. You remind me, Rich Dad, love you. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Trying to reinforce you guys to stay the course, stay the path, and hopefully it's working. Marcel says the fear is bad. There's been thousands of BTC bought in the last couple of days. No giving up. This is the future. Yes. You have to remind yourself, why is there a lot of FUD and manipulation? Why? It's mostly because these guys, when I say these guys, the whales, the manipulators, the ones that want you to not become financially free, the ones that are trying to gain more power and wealth, they're the ones probably driving this because they want to accumulate more. That's how it works. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to give up your financial freedom to them. Let's talk about T-Fuel. Is a good project. T-Fuel is secondary token from Theta, which is great. And I've talked about Theta a lot recently. T-Fuel is for basically paying, it's like gas fees on top of the Theta network. And Theta is a governance token. So T-Fuel is going to have basically it's another way to stake now with T-Fuel when Theta 3.0 comes out. And I created a video all about that a few days ago. So it's a good hold. Blanche says, you're the man. Thanks for being consistent in these weird and great days. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Elon is a charlatan and big that kind of guy. He's not doing himself any favors, that's for sure. Not only... No, I'll just leave it at that. I talked enough about Elon, but he's not doing himself any favors. Me, Kevin showed a graph where clearly short attacks. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of it. Theta on T-Fuel on Bitmart, also on KuCoin, also I believe on Binance.us. Did you hear about EOS making a crypto exchange? Yes, that was the last big news they had. We'll see. We'll see how good it is. They kind of gave up on Voice, which is their social network, unfortunately. And I still don't know if Dan Larimer is back full time or not. We have to see. Look at exchange outflow, highest ever, right? So yeah, there's a lot of the exchange outflows are measuring OTC stuff. It's like Coinbase does a lot of OTC stuff. I don't know how they do it, if they just find a seller or they have reserves. I know Coinbase has a ton of BTC in reserve. So a lot of that, yes, there's outflows, but doesn't affect the price because of it. Like when Michael Saylor buys his Bitcoin, it's OTC. He's not placing it on the spot exchange on Coinbase, right? That 400 million that he wants to buy, if he places that on Coinbase on the spot exchange and puts an order for 400 million, that's going to cause the price to shoot up probably to 50,000 right away. But unfortunately, you know, the guys that are buying in bulk, they're doing OTC market. But everyone else that's trying to manipulate market, they're using the derivatives or spot market to drive things lower. But again, we don't want to fall for that. We want to pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes, because that's what's more important. All right, anything else? Yeah, I honestly think at this point we should all just tell Michael, hey, buy your 400 million when you're ready on Coinbase. Just set it to buy at 400 million. You know, if he wants to help the Bitcoin community even more, besides just buying, do it on a spot exchange, because that's where all the manipulators are. They drive things down by selling or using leverage on these spot or derivative exchanges. You know what? Michael should do the same and cause a gigantic short squeeze rather than a long squeeze, which we have seen over and over and over again. Right? Let's all band together and cause a short squeeze. Like the good old days when Bitcoin was coming up, we had plenty of short squeezes. We need more of that, and Michael could cause it to happen. What about a Spanish channel? Yeah, I was thinking about first things first is to get Spanish subtitles. I think that'll be easier, see how it is, and if that's successful, maybe spin off a Spanish channel and get someone to dub it for me, because I don't know how to speak Spanish, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm getting there. Also, I'm hiring writers to develop and, you know, write on my website, which a lot of you guys don't know of, CryptosRUs.com. So, I'm planning a lot of things. I'm definitely not giving up. I'm trying to educate and grow and help you guys become who you want to become. And you know what? I'm not going to give up on that. I'm only going to try harder. So let's do a Shiba and buy it ourselves. No, that's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Harmony or Zilliqa, which will you pick? I mean, I think they're both doing good things. I like Harmony a little better, but Zilliqa is definitely doing very, very well. So go with both. Go with both. Just split it down the road. I could do the French version. I don't know if that's... You know what? If you're volunteering, I'm not going to deny your help, but just know that there's 2 streams every day. It's a lot to transcribe, right? But if you're willing to help me, hey, I appreciate it. I thank you. So email me, george@cryptosrus.com, and we can get that going. But I think majority of my audience, surprisingly, well, it's not surprisingly, U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, obviously English-speaking countries, but I believe Spanish and Germany. I don't know about French. Or German, I should say. I know Spanish and German is up there. I don't know about French, but hey, if you want to help, I'll take it. Could we band together like AMC or GameStop? I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, we are already kind of doing that, right? As my brand or presence grows, or as George's grow worldwide, we're standing together. That's the whole point of We Are George. We're all George, right? We're standing together, good and bad. And during bad times, we need to help each other. We need to educate each other, right? We need to help each other resist the temptation of selling, and we need to get people back on track to financial freedom and attaining wealth through Bitcoin and crypto. And if we don't panic sell and we continue our ways to dollar cost average, hodl, and get others to do so, you know, we are having that moment, right? We're having that movement, and we just need more people to follow through with that. Just keep in mind, if no one's selling, the price never goes down, right? And the more people that we have that is staying the course, right? And basically doing, they're opening doors, right? Transforming themselves into becoming something that they want, then that's fantastic. Samantha, I appreciate that, right? Long game. Invest for the future. Look at VET versus 1, hit mid 5 cents, but VET didn't drop as much this time. It depends on how much they have gone up before too, so that does play into it. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go, okay? So Bitcoin is a little bit lower today. I know that. A lot of FUD, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there. Just look at the headlines. They're all bad. Non-stop. One after another, after another, after another, right? But I'm here to help you guys to get back on path. Don't lose sight. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on this journey, this financial freedom, right? Don't give up on the person that you're becoming. Continue your ways, you're right, and put in the work. Have obedience, have conviction, have faith, and continue on, right? Continue on and stay strong. All right, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, guys.